Let's get on because we got a couple things I want to get to before we wrap up today's show. This next topic brought to you by Epicor. Every team knows the value of hard work and taking pride in what you build and practicing every detail to get the best results, but no one player, no matter how amazing, can do it all alone. Working together makes getting the win easier at Epicor. The all-stars are the hardworking manufacturers and distributors who create and deliver the things we all need, from aerospace to electrical to medical devices, from small businesses with big dreams to growing enterprises with global visions. We'll equip you with the right tools to move forward. Think ahead and lead the way, because as the clock ticks down, you need to make the most out of every hardworking minute. Easier doesn't cut corners. Easier finds the lane. Discover your success at easierwithepicor.com. I cannot believe I am actually asking this question, but I do think it is a completely valid question to ask at this point of the season. Since being sent down to AAA, Brayan Rocchio has refound his groove at the plate. Now, it's AAA. I understand there's context to it, but since being sent down to Columbus, you can see on the left compared to the numbers on the right from his major league stint this season, his power's up. His OPS is essentially doubled. He has 6 home runs. He had yet to hit a home run in the majors this year. He's 22
Yes,
RBIs.
Mike, I would call him back up.
Would you call him back up?
Yeah, why not? Nobody else is hitting. I mean, I don't know that it's going to translate. It probably won't, but
You're just recycling the water at this point.
I mean, they won't call up any of the guys we really want to see. So
Arias has not taken the job and run with it.
No.
Like I thought maybe he might.
Arias has had enough chances at this point. Like, how many more chances does he get? He's had more chances than Rocchio
He's
has.
out of options, I believe. I believe Arias is out of options.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Can I look that up? Is that something I
Well, you don't have to take – Arias doesn't have to come off the roster for Rocchio to come up.
But you're saying he keeps getting chances.
Yeah,
well,
but
that's
you
why.
can send Angel Martinez back down. He's not out of options.
No.
Why is it that he's so streaky?
Who?
Martinez.
A lot of guys are streaky.
I mean,
It
he
is
comes up
baseball,
and he makes some good stuff, and then he like disappears.
The problem with the Guardians is their streaky guys aren't that good when they're
Even
good.
when they're hot, they're not that hot.
They're like okay, you know, like if you're going to be streaky, you better be a superstar when you're hot. If you're going to stink when you're not.
I mean, you might as well give Rocchio another chance.
Yeah, but he's playing well.
This is the whole point of why you demote guys, is so that they can find a rhythm,
right?
Find their swing.
The problem is with all the platooning, nobody can get in a rhythm.
Are we gonna see Kafis?
No.
DeLauder?
No.
Yes. Yeah, they'll call up DeLauder.
All right.
But we
I'll
not
believe
gonna
it when I
see
see it,
Kafis?
Mason.
Kafis is a little trickier.
It's not tricky. They're just being stupid.
Well, how many first baseman DH do you want?
Why he's playing? Why did you play him in right field in the minors? I don't care if he could play. Is John Kenzie Noel such a good right fielder?
Yes.
No, but he's got.
You had him up there for 2 months.
Yes.
Who's the worst hitter in baseball?
Wow.
Statistically,
you're correct.
If you want to, I don't know. See if Kafis is going to solve any of their problems, but you want to give him a look. Fine, whatever.
I'd be playing since Chase DeLauder came back. I would have called up Kafis. I would have put him in right field. You're playing every day. For the next month, you're playing every day. Let's see what you got. Then I would have played Jace DeLauder in center field in Columbus, and then I'd call him up to play center field, and he's the center fielder for the next month. If you make some mistakes in the outfield, who cares? We need some bats.
I'd call him up before he gets hurt again.
Huh?
I think they just want to get him into the rotation, into the routine of playing every day. He's had so many injuries.
Yeah.
He doesn't even play 4 days a week, 5 days a week.
DeLauder?
They just want him a couple weeks. In fact, when was DeLauder activated? How long has he been going now? 2 weeks?
Probably 3. I want to say 3 weeks, but I don't know.
Is Shane
He'll be up by the
Bieber
All-Star break.
pitching again?
All right.
He'll be up by the All-Star break.
He had to take a week off.
Who?
He's still shut down.
He's okay.
But
Bieber?
Yeah.
He was activated on May 22nd.
May 22nd. Yeah. DeLauder will be here by the All-Star break.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
And by the way, I know
if he's healthy,
I know it's not uncommon for guys coming back from Tommy John to have soreness, and but we can't pretend it's not a setback at all.
I don't think it's a big deal unless
it's not necessarily a big deal, but it's a little bit of a setback, if nothing else.
A lot of guys have it at this stage.
I hear you, but
now if
not everybody.
If he misses a month, okay,
Yeah.
that's a problem. If he misses a week or two,
that's
part of why I kept saying late July, early August.
Well, now it's after the All-Star break at this point.
Yeah, fine. I've always thought all along that his return would be somewhere late July, early August. He's been way ahead of schedule to this point.
Hopefully they'll still be playing meaningful baseball.
What is Tristan McKenzie doing?
Praying.
I don't know. What's Tristan McKenzie's numbers there, Mike, if you could?
He's in Arizona. He's not even pitching for Columbus.
Oh, he's pitching in the Arizona.
He's at the spring training complex trying to rebuild everything.
But he's pitching. Is he?
Yeah, he's only has 3 games in the minors all season. He's pitched 7 innings in the minors.
Yeah,
so it has not gone well.
He's not. He's a disaster.
It's.
I mean, he's off the 40-man roster.
We may never see.
So was George Valera, who was another hyped up prospect.
Oh, don't even bring that name
One last
up.
thing on Rocchio, and then we'll get to what's more likely. Well, you said it probably won't continue in the major leagues if they were to call him up. We saw him prior to being sent down. He was hitting 165, no homers, and OPS below 450, which is hard to have an OPS that low as an everyday player.
Yeah, about as bad as he gets.
We saw him get hot in the postseason last year.
Yeah.
And he completely changed our perspective of what we thought he could be at the plate. I know AAA is not Major League Baseball, but both those numbers are pretty impressive in about 100 plate
24.
appearances.
He should be doing that in AAA.
I'm just not that impressed.
Jason,
Come do it in the
he can
majors.
translate?
Let's go.
I mean, 250. He should be hitting higher than 250 in AAA. That should be 280, 290, 300.
Yeah.
He's 24 years old.
I'm not that impressed, Mike. He's more. Who's he hit the home runs off of? Are there any pitchers that are going to ever be in the big leagues?
I don't know the answer.
Because there's a lot of pitchers pitching at AAA that are never going to do more than a cup of coffee in the big leagues. Be one of those guys that gets called up and sent down every week.
Hammy said, I'm actually, Jason, you're probably the best one to ask about this. But Hammy said on the broadcast the other day he's never seen a bigger gap between AAA and the majors than he has now.
Oh, he's right. Yeah.
Why do you think that gap's increased?
Why is that gap increased? I think part of it has to do with, I think they're rushing guys through AAA now. Because it used to be, 25 years ago, you'd spend an entire season in AAA. Now, at least for the top guys, I'm talking the top guys, and maybe this isn't the totally correct answer, but now you can spend if you spend 2-3 months, if you spend half a season in AA and then half a season in AAA, you're on the major league roster the next year, or maybe a month. Maybe you get a month for contract reasons, whatever else, and you're up. So the AAA, I don't feel like there's as many guys that are career guys in AAA. I remember Jamie Navarro went back to AAA. And pitched as a veteran trying to hold on to his career.
So
guys make so much money now, they don't do that.
Okay.
So you don't get the guys holding on at the end. The top guys rush through because you get them to the major leagues faster.
Yeah. There's a variety of reasons. Here's the deal. So up until, I don't remember what year it was, what was the year they renegotiated the minor leagues?
It was right around
22?
COVID when they knocked out a bunch of the minor league levels.
It used to be, before this decade, every team had 6, maybe even 7 minor league teams. Okay? So that's 180 to 210 players in your system. Now, each team has 4 minor league teams. That's roughly 120 players. That's a significant difference. That's a little over a third players in your system that are no longer there. So that's why you'll see, if you are a baseball transaction nerd like me, you will constantly see at the beginning of every month veteran journeyman players getting cut from minor league teams now, if you pay attention to this type of thing, which I do. That used to never happen in the minors. You'd keep those guys forever, these journeymen or the veterans trying to make a comeback. Those guys don't get kept anymore. Number 2, the top prospects, as you said, they're getting to the majors quicker, and in many cases, they're going straight from AA to the majors. So AAA, instead of having a lot of top prospects and veterans who are trying to fight back, it's more extreme journeyman veterans and 4A players, and a lot more second tier, third tier prospects as opposed to top tier prospects. And that's why the gap is bigger. And that's why we're seeing a lot of players dominating at AAA and then they come up and struggle. We see it. Especially guys that were like dominating unexpectedly.
Yet at
top prospects.
Yet at the same time, I feel like more top prospects are hitting and not as many are missing as back 10, 15 years ago.
I wonder if that is true.
It feels like it to me.
It feels like it.
There's more. I don't
I'd
have
like
the
to see
data.
on that,
I don't
but
have the numbers to back it up.
yeah.
There aren't as many guys who are supposed to do really, really well and are
Yeah.
complete busts.
We also know about them more.
We do know more about them.
There's more access to information. It is interesting. And I think, and the college players, most people don't watch a ton of college baseball, but it's bigger than it used to be.
Yeah.
And so we know some of the players a little bit. Like in basketball and football, except for the foreign players in basketball, you know all the guys.
Yeah.
And now in baseball, we're starting to know some of the names more when they come into the minor league system. The top, especially the first round picks from college. We're knowing their names, so we're more in tune with how they're doing.
It is fascinating the way that they've eliminated some of these minor league levels.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a terrible thing, but it's also allowed. It's like the spring training complex, like where Tristan is.
Yeah.
And the 17-year-old free agents that they signed for the Dominican.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys start now. They start at the rookie complex,
Right.
At the spring training complex, rather than the Appalachian League or whatever it was that they
the New
used
York
to start.
Penn League, where I
Yes.
used to work.
Appy League. That's where I got my first time covering a pro baseball was the Appy League.
Wilmington Blue Rocks.
That's not the Appy League.
It's fun going to minor league games.
Oh,
Like,
great!
It's a blast.
And it's bad for there's a lot of towns, small towns that lost teams.
Yeah.
and that
I
was
wanted
bad,
to
but-
see it when Mike was there. Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh,
Birmingham Barons.
You know who played? I probably mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again in case I haven't before we move on. When I was, so I did games in Batavia 99 to 01. The year before I was there for the Batavia Muck Dogs, one of the players on the 98 Batavia Muck Dogs was Ricky Williams.
oh yeah. I think
You
you
did
have
mention that the other day.
Did I mention it?
Yeah, just the other day because we had never heard it before.
I forgot.
Now twice
He
in a week.
stole a bunch of bases. Apparently he was stoned a lot. All right, let's go. Keep